Hey guys, so here we go for part 2 of the Ben Drown series, and now basically I'm going to be hard at work making this series for you guys. So now, don't be confused why it says Ben Drown 2. It's actually the second part of the same story in the previous episode. But from the description it says it's a 9-minute read, so if need be, we'll squeeze in the third part of the story into this video if reading this is as short as the description says. But let's just get right into part 2 of the Ben Drown story. The story continues in Ben Drown part 2. This is a scary creepypasta story about a bootleg cartridge of the Nintendo 64 game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask that may or may not be haunted by a ghost of a boy named Ben. Ben Drowned Part 2. Ben. I'm going to post what happened and a link to the video footage, but everything got too real for me last night. I think I'm done messing around with this. I passed out pretty much immediately after making that thread. Last night, however, I had a dream about the Elegy of Emptiness statue. I dreamed it was following me, that I would be minding my own business when I'd feel my neck hairs stand up on end. I would turn around and that horrible, lifeless statue would be merely inches away, staring right at me with those empty eyes. In my dream, I remember calling it Ben. Never before have I had a dream I could remember so vividly. The important thing is that I did get some sleep, I suppose. Today, putting off playing the game as long as I could, I drove back to the neighborhood to see if the old man returned. As I expected, the car was still gone and no one was home. As I was walking back to my car, the man next door came up and asked me if I was looking for someone. I told him I was looking to talk to the old man that lived there. He told me what I already knew. He was moving. Trying a different avenue, I asked if the old man had any family or relatives I could talk to. I discovered this old man had never been married, nor did he have any children or grandchildren. Starting to become worried, I asked one final question, one I should have asked from the beginning. Who was Ben? The man's expression turned grim, and I learned that 4 doors down, around 8 years ago on April 23rd, the man informed me that it was the same day as his anniversary, which is why he knew the specific date. There was an accident with a young boy named Ben in the neighborhood, shortly after his parents moved. Despite any further attempts to talk to the man to get more information, he wouldn't divulge anything else. I went back home and started playing the game again. I loaded up the game and immediately jumped at the sequence where the mask flies by. The sound that played was not the normal whoosh sound, but something more high-pitched. I pressed start and braced for the worst. But just like 2 nights ago, the files Your Turn and Ben were displayed. Truth be told, I looked at the Ben file earlier and it seems to fluctuate between displaying the owl icon and not. I brought up the Ben file and hesitated for a moment as I noticed the stats were not the same as they were 2 days ago. It looked like he had already completed the Stone Tower Temple this time. Summoning my courage, I selected it. Immediately I was thrust into complete chaos. I don't know if I was outside Stone Tower Temple, but that's about all that was expected. The area itself wasn't called Stone Tower Temple, but rather... And immediately a dialogue box of complete gibberish I couldn't make out greeted me. Link's body was distorted. His back was cocked violently to the side and his posture was permanently disfigured. Link's expression was dull, almost monotonous. He had an expression on his face I didn't recognize. It was a blank look, as if he were dead. As Link stood there, his body spasmed irregularly back and forth. I examined what had become of my avatar and noticed a C button item I never saw before. It was some kind of note, but pressing it did nothing. Sounds played back and forth that I didn't recognize from the game. They were almost demonic nature. There was some kind of high-pitched yip or some kind of laugh or something playing in the background too. I had all of 2 minutes to take in the environment before another one of those frightening Elegy of Emptiness statues was summoned. Immediately after, I was cut to the dawn of the new day screen, except this time without the subtext. I was a Deku scrub in Clocktown. The scene would normally play after the first time you traveled back in time. Tata would say, "What just happened?" It's as if everything has, but instead of saying start it over, she finished her remark in broken text as the laugh of the happy mask salesman played in the background. I was put back in control of my character, but from a screwed up angle. I was looking from behind the door to the clock tower, watching my avatar run around as a Deku scrub. Seeing as I had no place to go because I couldn't see anything, I begrudgingly went inside. There, I was greeted by the happy masked salesman. He simply told me, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before the screen whited out. I was in Termina Field as a Hylian again. I might as well not have even been playing the game anymore. I was being warped around and there was no sign of a clock or anything. I took a moment to get my bearings as I looked around the field, and immediately I could tell this wasn't normal. There were no enemies, and a twisted version of the Happy Mask Salesman's theme was playing. I decided to run toward Woodfall before I noticed a gathering of 3 figures off to the side. One of them was Epona. As I approached them, I saw the Happy Mask Salesman, the Skull Kid, and the Elegy of Emptiness statue standing there as well. I figured maybe they were bugged out, but by then I should have known better. Nevertheless, I approached them carefully and found Skull Kid and Epona were doing some kind of idle animations on loop. The Elegy of Emptiness statue was doing what it had been doing all along, standing there eerily. It was the Happy Mask Salesman that scared me profoundly more than the other two. He too was idle and wearing that superior grin. However, when I moved, his head slowly turned and followed me. I had not engaged any dialogue with him, nor was I in combat with him. Yet his head still continued to follow my movements. Reminded of my first encounter with the Skull Kid on top of the clock tower, I pulled out my ocarina, to which the game played the ding sound that tells you that you're supposed to play it, and tried a song I hadn't played yet. The Happy Mask Salesman owned the song and the song that had been playing on loop back in day 4 of the Song of Healing. As I finished playing the song, a piercing shriek blasted the TV speakers. The sky immediately started flashing, and the Happy Mask Salesman's twisted theme sped up, intensifying the fear inside me. Link exploded into flames and died. The 3 figures stayed lit up during the death scene as they watched my lifeless body burn. I can't describe to you how sudden and terrifying the transition from eeriness to terror it is. You're going to have to watch the video if you want to see that firsthand. That same fear that caused me to lose sleep 2 days ago started to grip me again as I was met with the text, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" for the 3rd time. There has to be some kind of meaning behind that. I had little time to ponder as I was immediately given another small cutscene of transforming into Azora. Now I found myself in the Great Bay. Hesitant but curious to see what the game had in store for me, I slowly made my way toward the beach where I found Epona. Or Epona, I don't know. I wondered why the game had decided to put her here. Was the game implying she was trying to get a drink? Unable to take the mask off, I decided that riding the steed wasn't the reason she was placed there. Suddenly I realized that Epona kept neighing. The way she was angled made it look like she was trying to signal a point to me that was off in the distance. It was a hunch, but I dove into the water and started swimming. Regardless, my character choked to death and died. Again, the statue was the only thing that was highlighted in my death. I didn't respawn this time. I was booted back to the main menu as if I restarted the console. The title screen was before me, and I knew the only reason it would put me here is because the save files had changed again. Taking a deep breath, I pressed start and found out I was right. The new save files told me about Ben. Now it made sense why the statue appeared when I tried to go to the laundry pool. The game must have anticipated how I would have tried to escape the Day 4 clock town. The 2 save files told me his fate. As I suspected, Ben was dead. He had drowned. The game obviously isn't through with me. It taunts me with the new save files. It wants me to keep playing. It wants me to go further. I'm done with this stuff, though. I'm not touching any more of the files. This is already way too horrifying for me, and I don't even believe in the paranormal, but I'm running out of explanations. Why would someone send me this message? I don't understand it, and I just get too depressed thinking about it. The footage is up here for those who want to see it and try to analyze it. Maybe there's some kind of coded message in the gibberish or something symbolic in what I went through, but I'm too emotionally and mentally drained to mess around with it anymore. The story continues in Ben Drowned Part 3. So from the looks of it, there's only going to be 4 parts to the series since we're reading 3 parts. Well, maybe not. This is a 3-minute read. The story continues in Ben Drowned Part 3. This is a scary creepypasta story about a young man who comes across a bootleg cartridge of the Nintendo 64 game. Okay, we get it. Ben Drowned Part 3. Drowned. I know it's early in the morning. I've stayed up all night. I can't sleep. I don't care if people see this. That's not the point. I just want the word to get spread so I don't suffer for nothing. I've lost the will to type about this. The less I dwell on this, the better. I think the video just speaks for itself. I played the Elegy of Emptiness at the first prompt I was given by the game. But I think that's what the game or Ben wanted me to do. I can't believe I'm even humoring that absurd idea that he exists in the game. He's following me now, but not just in the game. He's in my dreams. I see him all the time, behind my back, just watching me. I haven't gone to any of my classes. I've stayed in my dorm room with the windows closed and the blinds shut. That way I know he can't watch me. However, he still gets to me when I play. When I play, he can still see me. The game is scaring me now. It talked to me for the first time, not just using the text already in the game, but literally spoke to me. It referenced Ben. I don't know what it means or what it wants. I never wanted this. I just want my old life back. Stuff like this doesn't happen to people like me. I'm just a teenager. It's not fair. I want to go home and see my parents again. I'm so far away from home, but I just want to hug my mom again. I just want to forget that statue's horrible blank face. My original game file is back, just the way I left it before it was gone. I don't want to play anymore, though. I feel like something bad will happen if I don't. But that's impossible. It's just a video game. Haunted or not, it can't hurt me, right? Like, seriously, though, it can't, right? That's what I keep telling myself, but every time I think about it, I'm not so sure. Okay, guys, you know what? Just to treat you guys, we're going to basically fit the entire storyline in here. Now, I know in the previous video, I said that this was going to be a 5-part series, but when I found out that these parts were like so short, I'm just going to treat you guys by basically putting the rest of the Ben Drowned story into one whole video. So basically, this is just going to be episode 11.2, the Ben Drowned story continued. So, let's continue on in Ben Drowned part number 4. 5-minute read. I swear the art that they do for Ben's character is like terrifying, but then at the same time it's so good. Ben Drowned 4, Jadu Sable. So basically, from the sounds of it, this is basically detailing the person who made the story. Let me just clear things up. I know you guys are worried, but Jadu Sable is okay. He finished moving out today and said he's going back home to take this semester off. I'm not really sure what happened. I have a vague idea, but you guys probably know more than I do. I'm Jadu Sable's friend, and obviously I've known something was wrong with him for a few days now. He stayed in his room all the time, fell out of contact with all of his friends, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't even been eating anything. I tried talking to him several times, but he would cut me off or keep the conversation brief. When I asked him about his strange behavior, it was like he was convinced something was hurting him. Yesterday I came by to borrow a book and he was looking awful, with horrible bags under his eyes. He handed me a flash drive and gave me specific instructions. He told me he needs me to do one last favor for him. He finally explained to me what has been going on. He gave me the account info to his YouTube account and instructions to post the rest of his story. He said you guys deserve to see the end of it. He told me he's getting away from here, that the game lured him to play again instead of trying to change things, and he shouldn't have done that. He told me to upload the footage and inform people what happened. I told him he could do it himself, and he got this wild look in his eyes, saying he is never looking at that game again. Excuse me. That's the last thing he said to me. He never even said bye when his parents came to pick him up. I was hoping I'd at least get a chance to meet his parents, but they were in and out so quick I never saw them. I honestly can't tell you what happened. When he spoke, it was kind of hard to understand him. His messed up appearance distracted me too. On the flash drive was footage of the game last night, a text document with his name and password for YouTube, and a third document called the truth.txt. That contained what he had told me were his last notes that he'd taken about this. He told me it meant everything to him that I follow his instructions exactly. Normally I wouldn't be so to the letter for a request over a stupid video game, but the way he spoke and looked made me understand that this was really serious. I've had this video since yesterday, but had to have someone help me use Pinnacle. That's not really my forte. After watching it, I had to go back through and look at the other videos on his YouTube account to figure out what was going on. Even then, I'm really confused. The video is being released tonight, but the truth.txt will be released on September 15th, just like he requested. I don't know how he wants to wait for his notes to be published, but after what he's been through, I'll honor the request. I haven't dared peek at it yet, so the first time I see it will be the first time you see it out of respect to my friend. To answer your questions, no, I haven't tried calling him yet. I think I'll give him a call tomorrow to see if he's okay or not. He should have gotten back home by now. About the video, I cut straight to when he loaded the Ben file in the game. Looking back, I realized that Jadu Sable left the save select screen in because it occasionally said different names. My bad for that, but all it said at this time was the same at the end of his last video, Link and Ben. I wasn't there when he played it, but it looks to me like in the beginning. He's testing out his equipment or seeing what items he has or something. Apparently they've changed randomly before. The video starts then. He really wanted you guys to see this. After that, I think the game got too personal for him. And now, the final part. Ben Drowned 5. Holy shit, that picture scared the shit out of me. Ben Drowned 5. The Truth. Hey guys, Jadu Sable here. This will be the last time you'll be hearing from me, and this is my final gift to you. These are notes I have taken and the realizations I've made. Before I delve into this, I want to thank you for following me and listening to my story. It feels like the weight of a powerful burden is about to be lifted. By the time you read this, I won't be around anymore. After spending 4 days with this maddening game, however, I have begun to understand what's really at play here. Hopefully after reading this, we can ensure that this never happens again. There are things I could not share with you guys while this was going on due to circumstances which I'll explain. With Ben blocking any attempt I made to try and relay the truth to you, I tried, ever so subtly, to warn you guys in various ways. Amidst the chaos and my delirium, I devised a barely noticeable pattern in my videos. In all 5 videos I recorded over the 4 days, I have either had the Mask of Truth, interacted with the Gossip Stone, or the Lens of Truth equipped at some point. For you Zelda enthusiasts, these are all symbols of honesty and trustworthiness. I would hope one of you may have picked up the reference. As I played the file Ben, being mindful of how Ben was watching over my every move in the game, I made a point to avoid doing anything too obvious. However, I sent a hidden message to you guys. I never equipped the Lens of Truth nor the Mask of Truth, nor visited a stone. It worked and the video was uploaded. I prayed someone would notice the pattern didn't apply to Ben. The tags followed suit too. I hope you guys paid attention to those as well. They were my little messages to you, but nothing big enough that would catch Ben's attention or make him suspect anything. With Ben manipulating and changing my files, I honestly hope that what you guys saw was close to what actually happened, but there's no way for me to know. This may be a long read. I don't have time to proofread or make all my research pretty, but here it all is. September 6th, 2010, 11 p.m. Can't believe what happened. Not sure if this is some kind of elaborate hoax, despite the fear I can't help but be exceptionally cautious about this. Who or what is the statue? Lot of questions here. I'm starting this document as a diary so I can keep track of everything. I'm typing up a summary of what happened so I can come back to it later. September 7th, 2010, 2:10 a.m. Summary was posted here. You can go back and look at my first post for day 4 WMV for that. 4:23 a.m. I can't sleep. I've been trying so hard, but the harder I try, I just get more restless. I just feel like that statue's appearing whenever I close my eyes. 8:20 a.m. Didn't sleep at all, just going to start my day. I don't think I have the energy to go to class today. I'm going to drive back down and talk to that old man, taking my buddy Tyler with me just in case. 1:18 p.m. Back home now, no sign of the old man. Really weird that he appears to be moving the next day, but maybe the for sale sign was up there yesterday and I just didn't notice it. Tyler wants to know what's gotten me all worked up. I didn't tell him. Going to eat. Feel like death. 3:46 p.m. Could have sworn driving back from Subway that I Saw the elegy statue buried in some shrubbery staring at me go by. Now I definitely need sleep. 5 p.m. Don't think a lot of people would believe me if I told them about what's happening. Think I'm going to try posting this on the internet. Think I'll just use the summary. These notes are pretty sporadic. 6 p.m. Connected my capture card to my computer to upload the footage. Thought my computer froze for a second. Made the strange popping sound when I hooked everything up. But now it seems to be working fine again. My computer can't die on me now. 7 p.m. Footage is finished uploading. The quality's a lot better than I thought it would be. Gee, guess this is really a special cartridge. I never had it come through this clear before. 8:45 p.m. Thought I saw an icon pop up on my desktop that looked like the statue's face for a split second. Gave me quite a scare. Getting really unnerved and delirious. I'm going to crash after this. 9 p.m. Begin uploading my YouTube video on an alternate account. 9:55 p.m. Posting my summary of day 4 with a link to the YouTube video. Going to try to stay awake, but I'm so tired right now. September 8th, 2010, 10:48 a.m. I had a dream about the statue. I dreamed that it was following me in my dream, that I'd be minding my own business when I'd feel my neck hair stand up on end. I would turn around, that horrible, lifeless statue would be staring at me with those empty eyes, right at me, merely inches away. In my dream, I remember calling it Ben. Power of suggestion, most likely, and never before had I had a dream that I could remember so vividly. 11:21 a.m. I really don't want to play this game again. I think I'm going back to see if that old man's there instead. 1:35 p.m. No old man, but I had an interesting conversation with his neighbor. I'll post the full thing with my summary of tonight's attempt at playing the game. Going to wait for a bit, though, and see if I can't dig up any information on this Ben guy. 2:45 p.m. I've been getting random, inexplicable headaches due to the lack of sleep, and I keep hearing that song in my head. 3:02 p.m. My computer just, on its own, opened up a text document and wrote the words hi and Cleverbot by itself. What the... 3:46 p.m. I went to the Cleverbot website. I think it's best if I just let the conversation speak for itself. User, hello? Hello. Who is this and how are you able to control my computer? Who am I? Right, forgot, you're a bot. Do you really think that? Listen, I know whoever's messing with my computer can see my screen right now. Yes. Yeah, and I'll wager that you're one of those hackers who thinks he's tough. You know what you'd be doing right now is illegal, right? Is it? Are you familiar with the terms invasion of privacy? Get off my computer, kid. I am your computer. Cool story. Anyway, I'm calling DPS. You picked a bad time to screw with me, kid. Should I wait until you play the game then? What? That game. Majora's Mask? Yes. How did you know about that? Because what? I did it. Did what? I played with you. What? Were you scared? Who is this? Ben. The statue? You're inside my computer now? Yes. How? You connected me. How the hell did I connect you? Cables and cords. How? Tell me about yourself. What? Tell me about yourself. What do you mean? What is it that really scares you? What? Answer. No. Answer. How the fuck did you just open that by yourself? I am your computer now. How much can you control? All. What do you want from me? To entertain. You're stuck inside there. You can't hurt me. Ha. Question mark. Go play. No, you can't hurt me. Took you longer to type that. So? You're not sure. If you're so powerful, why use a ridiculous website like this to chat with me? Less messy, more structured. Fun. Fun? Yes, tradition. I like it. You think it's funny? Amusing. And my notes? You may write them down. Why are you letting me? It's amusing to see what you think of me. Window closes. 3:50 p.m. What have I done? I've invited it into my computer. I continue to write these notes, write my summaries. I feel like I'm a prisoner in my own place of security. I don't know. I don't know if I'm hallucinated or not. I feel like I'm fucking insane right now. I can feel it watching over me, even as I type this. Ben is controlling everything in the game, toying with me, leading me like a sheep. But for what? What's the purpose? I know Ben drowned, but why these hauntings? What am I even doing? It can probably even see this right now. 7:18 p.m. Ben called me to Cleverbot again. He tells me that he's sorry and wants to be free. Then I can free him. That just like how he got on my computer from the capture card. He can spread, but he needs my help. He says that I am special because I can help him. That is the first night he has said. He promises to leave me alone if I do it. He swears he will. I don't know what to think right now. How can I even trust this thing? 7:20 p.m. I'm terrified of it, but now it's saying that it's just having fun. It's twisted version of fun. He's saying that the game is over. I do want it to be over. He says that he just wants to be free, that he's trapped in the cartridge in my computer and he wants to be freed. I don't know. I don't want to have to deal with this shit. I don't know how long I can deal with the watching. It's watching my every move, every keystroke. I have nothing private anymore. It knows everything that's been on my computer. It tells me that, if it wanted to. It could do horrible things to me, but it hasn't. Should I trust it? 8:01 p.m. Something tells me that I've been being played again, just like in the game. 9:29 p.m. Ben called me to Cleverbot again. I ignored it and I went to go take a shower. When I came to my laptop, I was welcomed with an image of the LG statue staring at me with those dead eyes. I don't want to talk to him. Okay, this is actually starting to get a lot different from the regular storyline, but this is basically the end, so it's basically retelling the entire story, but it's also adding in some details that you guys didn't hear from the last episode. 9:44 p.m. Ben, I'm not talking to you. This just goes on. 10:45 p.m. It's been more than half an hour and the messages have stopped. Ben has stopped. I'm beginning to think that Ben isn't confined to just my computer cartridge. I'm beginning to feel something. It's hard to explain it. I've never been spiritual, but there's something different about the air in my dorm room now. 11:42 p.m. I'm beginning to see the LG statue randomly as I search the internet in places I shouldn't, places where he shouldn't be. I'd be scrolling down and suddenly I'd be staring at a picture of the LG statue. Always the LG statue. I don't know how much more of this I can take. September 9th, 2010, 12:35 a.m. My worst fears confirmed. Ben has tampered with my summary of ben.wmv. I looked at the summary that I posted on various forums for the ben.wmv file and parts have been omitted. There is no mention of Ben existing outside the game. There is no mention of the Moon Children. How could he have even been that quick to delete the post without me noticing? I'm wondering if it appeared to me that I was posting everything, but in reality, Ben was posting his own censored version. I'm going to ask Ben why he did it. 12:50 a.m. He isn't responding to me on Cleverbot. It's just giving the generic responses it usually does. I'm just talking to a bot this time. 1:24 a.m. I think Ben is mad at me. 10:43 a.m. The Moon Children appeared in my dreams last night. They lifted up their masks to reveal their hideously disfigured faces, maggots crawling out of their orifices, sunken black holes where their eyes should be, a yellow smile that slowly grew bigger and bigger as they came closer to me. They told me that they wanted to play. I tried to run from them, but the four children pinned me to the ground with surprising strength. Over them stood the happy masked salesman announcing that he had a new mask that he wanted me to try. In his spastic sudden movements matching his in-game appearance, he took out a mask that seemed to be modeled on someone's face, someone that I didn't recognize, the face of a young boy, and handed it to the Moon Children. Giggling, they lashed it onto my face, their horrible broken bodies bouncing up and down. Two of them held me down while the other began to sew the mask onto my face. My shrieks and screams caused the happy mask salesman's face to turn into the most horrific smile I had ever seen. He sporadically moved around, examining this procedure like a curious doctor. In that impossible movement, I flailed around, but it was to no use. My eyes rolled in the back of my head because of the pain. It felt so, but I couldn't wake up. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't wake up. After the mask was welded onto my flesh, they began sewing my legs together, then my arms. The horrific feeling of a needle puncturing my legs and pulling them in, rupturing my Achilles tendons and tying them together being resonated throughout my entire body. I tried to scream, but the mask was pressed so tightly against my face that it was my new face. And my new face had no mouth and I couldn't scream. I couldn't make a sound. I tried telling myself that I was just dreaming, tried telling myself again and again, and suddenly the moon children stopped and looked at me. They just stared. And the happy masked salesman slowly bent down and stared at me, inches away from my face, and grinned when he simply said, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" Before the moon children resumed with increased vigor. I couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake up. It wouldn't let me wake up until they had crafted me into another elegy statue. I woke up sweating, crying, and shaking uncontrollably. I immediately ran to my computer and went for Ben. September 9th, 2010, Conversation 1. Answer me, Ben. Welcome back. What is the point of doing this? Why? Amusing to see. How? Fun to play. Fun to toy with you. Make you feel safe. I wonder how you would have reacted. To what? If I hadn't revealed myself and stayed hidden, only doing little things to play with you. Close out your windows, turn off your computer, move your mouse by itself, little things. Make you wonder if I am there, but you never know. Give you little hints that I am. I wanted to do something different with you. You did this before? Yes, and I will do it again. To who, Ben? Did you know Ben? Won't tell that information to you. How did Ben die? You know? No, but how did he drown? Won't tell that to you. Why? It is reserved for another. Who? Another who asks. When? Later. The window is closed. I'm beginning to think that this thing maybe isn't Ben at all. In its sadistic nature, I wouldn't be surprised if it took the boy's name after it killed him. 12:04 p.m. My room is beginning to feel different again. There's something out there. I feel really threatened, like there is something that is trying to reach out to me and strangle me, but it can't quite get there. 2:46 p.m. I think Ben doesn't want to play with me anymore. I'll play again. I'll play the game again. Ben, can you see this? I'll play the game again. Please, just stop this. Please. Please. 1:41 p.m. I'm going insane trying to decide what is real and what isn't. Is Ben just playing a trick on me, or is this for real? Is Ben generating these replies, or are actual people posting them? Did I just see that screen flicker, or is it my imagination? Imagine depending on the internet and trusting your eyes for your entire life and then being blinded. You can't rely on it anymore. You second guess everything. For the brief moments, I am looking at my responses to the videos. People were pointing out things that looked faked or photoshopped or whatever, and there was literally no way for me to know if Ben changed something on purpose to try and shut me up, or if maybe those replies were just constructed by Ben to try and discourage me from even reaching out. See, my mind gets caught in an infinite loop like this, and this is what has been wearing on my sanity and pushing me to the edge. As I'm writing this, there's no way of even telling if anyone even cares just as much as I think they do. Just another trick. Does this whole document even exist? Am I writing nothing? Conversation 2. What is it? What's the point of playing? I die whenever I do anything. You die because you can't figure out the secret. What? Thematic. What are you talking about? Their beauty in your suffering. The window is closed. 4:09 p.m. Ben is making me play the game again. It tells me that it has something very important to show me. September 10th, 2010, 11:52 a.m. The Drowned WMV playthrough was up when I woke up today. I remember typing it up, but I don't ever remember posting it. He censored it again. There is no mention of the old man. I have no voice anymore. I am only posting what he wants me to. I am the mask he uses to disguise himself as he lies. 11:55 a.m. There's an entire video summary of a video that I don't remember doing. Reading through the summary, this sounds morbid, resembling my dream from 2 nights ago, except on a far more sadistic scale. These moon children. There's something more to them, almost as if they're another entity from Ben. Something happened last night that I can't remember. I'm posting the forced summary to the forums now. Shadow of my chair moved. 12 p.m. Ben won't let me visit YouTube. I can browse the rest of the sites, but he keeps on exiting the window when I go to YouTube. Why? 2:02 p.m. I'm feeling the air start to constrict. I don't think I'm alone here. Whatever aura has been here has been getting more violent. 2:44 p.m. I'm trying to contact Ben on Cleverbot, but he's not responding. I just get the AI. My ears aren't fooling me. I'm hearing the reverse song of healing. I keep hearing it. 4:23 p.m. Now I'm positive about it. Earlier I thought it was a weird coincidence, but just now I went to open my window and 3 floors down at ground level I saw the old man. I'm completely positive I did. The same guy. He was just staring up at my window, standing in the middle of campus. If any students took notice of him, they didn't seem to acknowledge it. That's where my notes end. I fled my room, taking the cartridge with me. I don't want to go into the details of what happened. I'll lose my train of thought as I hammer out these last details. It's been roughly 2 days since then. This is my last summary in service to you of the final video you guys saw. Matt WMV. The last video entry I made, Matt WMV, began as normal. I was spawned in Clocktown as usual, nothing seemed out of place. Determined to see things right away and play the Oath of Order atop the clock tower on the 4th day, I prepared myself. I sped up time and got to the final day, then made my way to the observatory. As I got to the telescope room and approached the astronomer, I found he wouldn't let me look into the telescope. He told me it would be cheating, that I should follow the rules. After my repeated efforts, the game would not let me do the 4th day glitch, no matter how hard or what I tried. I tried working around the game and doing the glitch, but it was a madden this time. Regardless of if I simply had the illusion of free will in prior playthroughs, this time the game became more aggressive than anything I've ever seen. It eventually told me to go to Ikana Canyon, where the game would end and it would stop haunting me. Anxious and desperate to end this nightmare, I played the Song of Soaring and quick traveled there. I was told to check my inventory and that I would find the answers to end the game there. I arrived at Ikana Canyon and saved my progress at the owl statue. As I searched through my inventory, I finally noticed that I was missing a recurring song, the Elegy of Emptiness. Obviously, once I traveled there and learned the song, Ben would decide it had enough fun playing with me. Ben is a manipulator. He tries to fool his victims into security and makes you drop your guard like a Venus flytrap. He ensnares them. I am nothing but a puppet to him. He enjoys seeing what kind of human emotions he can tap into by doing different things. There are still some things about this whole experience that still don't make sense. But then again, I was never good at figuring out these things. I'm not exactly in the right state of mind to, either. I'm giving you all the pieces of the puzzle for you to analyze and piece together the missing link. I am typing these closing thoughts on the library computer on campus, and I've been emailing myself the notes I have stored in my infected computer from the last 4 days. I'm then going to combine those and copy and paste those notes with the closings and openings that I've typed here on the saved public computer into one text document. I'm not taking any chances spreading Ben. I would not wish this horrible torment on anyone, and I've made sure to have my bases covered. I didn't run into any problems with Ben, but when I was back at my computer trying to email myself the notes, I went right under his nose. He has no idea what he just let me do. I had no problems opening the text document from my infected computer in my email either. I can't describe to you how it feels to finally be able to get the word out in this post. The nightmare ends here. That said, do not download any of my videos or anything about my videos, not even through a YouTube video or audio ripper, a screen grabber, or anything. I don't know how he can spread. However, I know that just watching them on YouTube or reading my text won't allow him to. Otherwise, he wouldn't have needed my help in this place. I strongly recommend you not take anything you see streaming online onto your own personal computer. This will be my last posting. I'm putting this up on the forum here for the world. If you see any further posts from me after today's current date and after the current time, discredit them. It has already been proven to me that Ben can access my account and manipulate my computer, and like I said, I have no idea to what extent it can do this. Know that it will do anything to break free, though. He is desperate. To ensure your safety, just forget about me. Please. This goes without saying, obviously, but from here on out, do not download any images or files. Anything, basically, I may have put up. This 5th day will be my last day. I'm going to burn the cartridge, then come back and destroy my laptop. I suppose I'm partially to blame because I'm the genius who picked to live alone. Someone to get a hold of me and save me before I got too immersed in the game, it would have literally saved my life. However, it proved too much for me. I'm just glad it happened to me and I could get the warning out so Ben dies here. Lastly, thank you for taking the time to open this and open yourself up to me by hearing my story. Despite not believing me, you didn't have to do that. Really, you shouldn't have. Your support this entire time has kept me going, and now I'm finally free of this. Thanks again, Yadu Sable. Holy shit, that was long. Okay, guys, so if you guys enjoyed that reading of the rest of the Ben Drown series, that was a really good read to you guys. 40 minutes, longest video that I've done yet. But thank you guys for watching. I cannot wait to do more future Creepypasta Storytime episodes for you guys. If you guys have any suggestions, throw them out in the comments down below. Smash the like button for more Creepypasta content. And click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more future episodes and more content from me. My name is Archangel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.